Hello everyone. So the next 4 issues of the Dalek have arrived. It's time to start getting that built. This shouldn't take too long. There's not a lot to be done in here, and I also want to think about and considering some possible painting. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But for now, let's go ahead and get into the next step of building the Dalek. So for step number 15, we have the next part that's going to go into the dome of the Dalek to be able to help it spin. We have 4 little wheels and 4 little pins that are going to go into these brackets. So we need to take each little wheel, drop it down into its space, and then get the pin directly into the hole in here. I think the back end of the tweezers is going to be really good for helping to push the pin into place. That goes straight in and gets locked into place like that. And that will allow that little wheel to now spin. Got 3 more of those to do, so I'm going to go ahead and get each of those done. All right, and that is the end of step number 15. So for step number 16, our new parts, we have some more screws. We have these little parts that look like washers, these little standoffs, which do have a D shape to them, so they are keyed. And we also have these smaller pieces that are also have a flat spot, so they are keyed. We will also need the metal ring from the previous construction work, and we will need the part that we just completed from step number 15. So let's move on down through what we need to do. Okay, so it appears that these are actually little wheels, and these are little hubs for the wheels. And the first thing we need to do is just to go ahead and set the wheel down onto the hub. So that can be done really quickly. So that takes care of that. Okay, so now with our metal ring, these little wheels have to go into these D-shaped holes that are on here. So I'm going to line up the flat spot and push that through. It's a decent tight fit. The little wheel spins. I'm going to flip that over, and then the little cap is then going to go on to the top. So I'm going to drop that down into place. And then this is going to get screwed down to hold it down into place. Got 3 of these to do. So I'm just going to do each one at a time. The directions actually say to put all the wheels in and then put all the caps on and then screw it down. I can see all that falling apart. So I'm just going to do it one at a time. So that now has the 3 wheels in place. Okay, so our next step is to take this cog and put it onto this base that we put the little wheels onto. The holes that are on here are spaced in such a way that this can only go on in one direction. There are actually little cutouts in the outer ring, and those all have to be in the correct location. So there are 1, 2, 3 holes that are really close, 1, 2, 3 holes that are really wide. So I've got the close holes, the wide holes, and that just drops right into place. This is then going to get screwed down and put to hold that into place. I could see actually coming back and adding some glue to this to hold it down permanently. It might be something to do a little bit later on, depending upon how hard it is to get back to it. At the same time, if it's glued down, if for some reason the teeth were to get ruined, there'd be no way to potentially replace it. So I'll have to think on that and consider that. All right, and then the final step is to attach this to the metal ring. So those little recesses that were in the cog here, that is to allow these 3 wheels to be able to slide in place and allow the motor to interlock with the cog. Now, if I go to pick this up, it's just going to slide apart. So in order to keep it from coming apart while I insert it into the Dalek dome, I'm actually going to just rotate this around a little bit so that that is now locked into place. So next thing I need to do is to set up the Dalek dome upside down and get ready to insert this into the dome. So looking at the inside of the dome, we have the little circuit board that was there. There is one section that is marked M. The wire is also marked M, and that's where that is going to eventually get plugged in. However, to test this mechanism, make sure that it's working correctly, just have the wire threaded through here so we can connect it to the battery box. I can then do the test on it, see how it's running. So I will end up having to take the plate back off in order to be able to plug the wire in, unless I can reach it from through the hole here, which I don't think that's going to happen, but don't know until give it a try. But for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and get this oriented into its location there. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that put into place through that small hole. So I'm going to go ahead and get this screwed down to hold that in place, and then I will be able to take it apart and put the wire into its correct location. So I'm just going to put a few of these in for now. So that it'll just be held into place. And I'll test it here in a second, and we'll see if the head rotates the way it's supposed to. So there are 4 of the screws. It will have 5 when all said and done. So now I need to put it up on something here. Let's get this plugged in. Now I want to flip this over. I'm going to put it up on a couple of boxes. All right, let's see if it works. I would say that's a success, and I can have just fun watching it go around and around for a little while. Now the directions here in step 16 don't say to go ahead and take this apart and plug that wire in. I am going to go ahead and do that so I can go ahead and put the rest of the screws in place. Hopefully I don't have to undo it a third time, but we'll see what happens. All right, that is the end of issue 16. So it is time to head on to issue 17. So here for step 17, we're actually moving into the interior of the Dalek. I was really expecting that once the dome was done, that we would jump away from that area. But I was really not expecting to move into the actual interior of the Dalek. I was really expecting the next stage to be the base and start working from the base up to the skirt, up to the arm and gun, and then finally get to the next section, the interior. I figured that would be towards the end, but no, this is actually the base interior where the actual Dalek mutant will live. So we're actually going to start to build that little command area, that control area, the living space that the Dalek mutant lives in. So the first two parts that are going to be put together are the backrest. So I'm going to press these together. They are designed to be a press fit. However, I'm going to actually also use my modeling glue to help to seal it together, seal it tight, seal the two pieces together. This particular glue will do ABS, styrene, a few other types of glue, of plastics as well. So there shouldn't be any problem with it being able to glue these two halves together. I know that there are other modelers out there that are building this that are only going to do the press fit as per the instructions. But I do like to glue parts together when I can. So that goes together nice and tight. And then right on the seam, capillary action will just allow that glue just to soak right down in. Going to do that in a couple of spots here. And we'll have a really good tight joint. So I can see for sure that the plastic glue is indeed bonding this together, because I'm seeing just a tiny bit of black on the end of my brush. And just as I squeeze these together, I can just see that the plastic is pressing together. There is a little bit of flash right here from where this was attached to a sprue originally. I may end up going back and sanding that down. I may even go around this whole piece and sand the seam line that's on here, and maybe even backfill the joint to then sand that smooth and then repaint over this so that it has a nice uniform look to it. Now, that's also going to depend upon how much of this is going to be seen once the Dalek mutant is in place. But there's that first piece together. The next parts that are going to go on are these two columns. Now, they've already been assembled for us. I can't tell if I can pull them apart. They may already be press fit, just like the backrest was meant to be. But I am going to go ahead and once again just put some glue down into that joint to help to seal that together tightly. And then these are going to get attached to the base. The peg is actually keyed so that it can only go into the hole one direction when this gets put into place. In fact, actually, this one would go over here. And then this will get screwed in from the bottom. However, I would also like to glue that into place, but I'm not going to glue this in yet. Looking ahead in the digital instructions, there's all kinds of just black pieces and such going onto this whole interior area. And I'd really like to improve the overall look of it as opposed to just having black on black on black. I want to go ahead and be able to get some different shades of black, some grays, some silvers should be in there, some other colors just to make the whole interior of the Dalek cockpit area jump, make it look nice. But I also need to do a little bit of researching, which means having to sit down and watch more Doctor Who. Oh, darn. And see what the colors, what kind of colors should be in here. There are going to be a few colors, but it's just looking ahead. It is not super pleasing to the eye overall. So I want to see what other kind of colors I could potentially add to the interior of this. So I want to get some glue into these seams, and then from there get these screwed into place. All right, and then that is the end of step number 17. Okay, so here are the parts for step number 18. And as you can see, again, a lot of black once again, with the bright splash of color here from the control screen. This control screen actually is quite brilliant. I really like the way that it looks. There's actually a really nice grid pattern in the background. I don't know if the camera is going to pick that up or not. It is a piece of transparent plastic, and I just peeled the backing off a little bit and held it up to the light, and you do get light transmitting through, so it is possible to get light to transmit through. This is the piece that this is going to go on, and it seems a real waste to not have this illuminated somehow. So I am definitely not going to stick this on. I want to see if I can somehow figure out a way to light this up, put a single strip of LED tape in, just a section of 3 LEDs in here to illuminate this, have that blue shining up onto the face of the Dalek mutant. So I am definitely not going to be attaching these two pieces in this step. I'm going to leave those separate and see what I can do about being able to illuminate this. But for now, we need to go ahead and make the actual seat for the Dalek mutant. This is the actual seat that it'll be sitting on. Almost kind of looks like a toilet seat here. And then the backrest that was made previously, that is just going to go directly into here. I don't think I'm going to glue these two pieces together. I'll put the screws in to hold that. But if I do go ahead and want to do any seam work on the backrest, it'll be easier if I can take it apart and then glue that together a little bit later on. And then also look to see if maybe this column that makes up the seat might be some of the types of colors. You know, maybe even just some crud and some slime from the Dalek mutant coming down the side of it. Again, I'm going to need to watch the show and see what I can do to enhance this just very plain black piece of plastic. So let's go ahead and get these first two pieces together. There we go, that's better. So there's the Dalek's command seat. Okay, bringing back over the base, the command seat is then going to sit directly into these three holes here. This hole underneath could potentially be used for some wiring if I am able to get some extra lights or anything else like that into here. I'll have to think about that. So again, I'm going to just screw this down, but I'm not going to glue it into place yet until I have an idea of what I might want to do as far as any painting or additional lights. So this is going to then get glued down with 3 screws. And that, of course, will be from underneath. So our next piece that we're using is this large block here. And these circular pieces are now going to go in. They are a press fit into the 2 holes. This would definitely be a piece that I would that I'll glue into place. I think I'm going to hold for the moment as far as gluing that into place, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to glue that directly into place very shortly. So I'm going to put the first one in, and then the second one, and the directions say to make sure the small peg is towards the front. So I'm going to have those in there like that. Then these pieces are going to go in, and you can see that one hole is smaller, one hole is larger. So this one has to go on this side, and this one has to go on this side. So this makes this whole base piece like that. Then bringing over the base again, this whole construction is now going to go into the holes remaining on the base here in the front. And let's see. There we go, just like that. The display will eventually get put into place like this and get pressed into place. But this is where having this wide open box is really nice, because I can run wires up inside, be able to put the lights in there, and eventually have this piece somehow made so that I can illuminate this. So for the moment, let's see, do I want to glue those together? So yes, I think I'm going to go ahead and apply my glue onto these sections here. and have that all together. Just going to hold that for a moment. And now on to the other side. Glue into there. Set that in place. The capillary action of the glue takes that all the way around that cylinder, and that's going to glue that into place. Again, give that a moment. And now gluing these side pieces on is real easy because I can just cover this whole surface here and make sure I have the correct one. Glue that into place. Glue the other one into place. Just going to hold those for a moment. But for the moment, this can go ahead and set right down into place. And I'm going to go ahead and get that screwed down for now to hold it in place until we're ready to do some other work to it. Okay, so we have 4 screws that are going to hold this front console in place. So it's this stage, that's the end of step number 18. The front console would get pressed into the base of the control area. The screen would then get press fit on top of that. Again, I'm not going to press fit that down. And again, the screen itself is basically a very large sticker, and that would get put into the back like that. So that is what the command area of the Dalek is starting to look like. So I guess for the next month, I'm going to need to start looking at some episodes of Doctor Who and see what kind of colors that there are on the inside of this Dalek, and get ready to possibly start doing some painting. If I do, I will at the very least do show you what I did at the end of the painting. If I decide to actually show you the painting, I'll have to think about that. But that's where we're at the moment. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next month.